When I was released from prison, more than a dozen luxury cars were parked at the entrance of the prison. Hundreds of brothers saw me kneel down together. Brother Long. They opened the door of the leading Mercedes-Benz S. Please go back and preside over the overall situation. I turned my head and left. Leave a sentence. From now on there will be no dragon crossing the river. 15 years ago, I'm by the river, and I monopolize 1,000 people with a knife. Half of the river is stained with blood. The world reveres me as a dragon crossing the river. Until his girlfriend came to visit the prison with her stomach upper, I just learned that I was going to be a father. Because he has killed people. Now Unit wants me. I want to have a good relationship with my daughter, whom I haven't seen in 15 years. Just listen to my wife's complaints. Canteen owner is bad. Often gives stinky meat to children. Reporting several times to no avail. I set up a stall in front of the school to sell boxed lunches. Because it is good and cheap, many students are willing to buy my boxed lunches. However, the daughter Nono is not. A good girl I fantasize. She mixed with a group of little girls at a young age. As soon as he saw me, her sisters laughed. Isn't that your father, who has been in jail? Ha ha. Uncle heard that you stole scrap products back then. As a result, the cable was cut off, sentenced to 15 years. Why are you so unlucky? Nono only felt ashamed. He walked quickly up to me. Tell me beggingly, can you stop being ashamed? You have made me lose face in front of my friends. I didn't refute it. Instead, he was handed a boxed lunch. He said gently, your mother said you complained that the cafeteria was not delicious. Here are all your favorite dishes. Get out. Nuo angrily smashed the lunchbox on me. She trembled with anger. Say to me, don't be ashamed. Since you were a child, you have been in because of such a cowardly charge, causing me to be bullied as a fatherless child. Now, I finally have a group of friends. You still have to come to lose my face. One of the little sisters said with a smile, Uncle, haven't you considered appealing? My godbrother broke his leg and was sentenced to 3 years. You steal scrap and sit for 15 years. I laughed to death. Ha ha ha. They laughed wildly again. My real guilt. The wife never told the child. I can't let people know that she is my daughter who crossed the river. Otherwise it will attract countless enemies. I wiped the food scraps off my face. Yeah. Said softly, going to jail is not an honorable thing. You should study hard. I took out another boxed lunch and handed it to Nono. He gritted his teeth and said, having a cowardly father like you is the most humiliating thing at this moment. The canteen owner brought a group of people, hurried towards me, picked up the boxed lunch and smashed it on the ground, pointed at my nose and scolded. Grab business with my canteen, right? Did I tell you? You dare to come here to sell boxed lunches again. I'll kill you. I went down to pick up the lunchbox on the ground. I'm sorry. I'll go. The owner of the cafeteria put his foot on me. I tell you the second time. Okay. You see, your dad was beaten. Nono looked at me intently, clenched his fists. I know he expects me to fight back, but I can't fight anymore. I sincerely told the canteen owner, Mister, and we all sell 15 yuan a package. It's not cheaper than you. How can it be considered to rob you of business? The kids just want to eat something good. He sneered. You mean that my canteen food is not good? Let me see how good your food is. The leader of this group is a strong man. Listen to the canteen owner. Grab my stall. Overturned to the ground. Several large plates of dishes were scattered all over the place. All splashed on me. The boss lowered his body and grabbed my hair, gritted his teeth and said, bastard. More than a dozen parents stared at the report and didn't bring me down. You want to me now. Do you know how many people on the Dow do I know? Mister, if you don't like my stall, can I stay away? My regression caused Nono's dissatisfaction. She gritted her teeth and shouted at me, no fool. You are so you. After he shouted out, the red-haired sister quickly covered his mouth. Indeed it was not. The canteen owner glared at Nuo viciously. The canteen owner said coldly, is it that easy to leave? Let's discuss the issue of compensation first. I heard that you can sell 300 boxed lunches a day. Other words, you caused me to lose 300 guests a day. My unit price is 15 yuan. 500 a day. You put it for 10 days. 45.0 in total. Give money immediately. I was stunned. Boss, aren't you a bully? The canteen owner sneered, turned his head and said to the strong man, caused me to lose so much money. Now he doesn't pay. What to do? That strong man's lower body grabbed the shredded pork with green peppers on the ground. This shredded meat is more than green peppers. You do business. You are really not afraid of retribution. After saying that he beat me up, the students next to me watched me being beaten. It is also exciting. Black heart you sell. is not for others to sell, but this stall owner is really you. If others do this to me, I've already done it. People will be bullied. I struggled to sit up. Wipe the chili juice off your face. First glance I saw Nono's face full of disappointment. Now others beat you. You won't fight back, is it? The canteen owner said to Nono impatiently. Little girl, this is none of your business. You say one more word. Believe it or not, Lao Tzu found someone to drop you out of school. Farewell to the boss. I quickly shook the canteen owner's arm. Mister, I'll go. Losing money. I can't come up with the full amount. You tell me the profit. I will compensate you for the profits. The canteen owner's face suddenly turned cold. He leaned close to my ear. You think I'm an idiot? Will I tell you my profit? I can't do business yet. After saying that, he didn't feel relieved yet. He raised his hand and slapped me twice in the face. Nono looked at me and slapped me. He cursed angrily. You fought back. How long will you lose face? Canteen owner has long had enough of Nono. He pointed at him impatiently. Said to the strong man around him, go and pull the uneducated girls over. The strong man turned his head and walked towards Nono. The red-haired girl was so frightened that she hurriedly dodged. Show that you have nothing to do with Nono. I'm in a hurry, quickly got up and rushed towards Nono. As a result, the cafeteria owner grabbed my clothes. I was wearing a shirt. He pulled it, tear my shirt to pieces. My tattoo pattern suddenly appeared in front of everyone. King, Ksitigarbha, King. The strong man also widened his eyes. Isn't that a dragon pattern across the river? The canteen owner stretched out his hand in disbelief. Rubbed at the tattoos on my body. It shouldn't be a tattoo sticker. He rubbed it twice. I found that I couldn't rub it off. You set up a stall to sell boxed lunches. You dare to tattoo the Jianglong king of Jianglong. The strong man asked the boss worriedly, could he be a dragon crossing the river? I heard that he was recently released from prison. The canteen owner rolled his eyes. Chairman of Yuanda Group. The position has always been vacant for the River Dragon. Do you think people will put the German inappropriately? Come here to sell boxed lunches. He was halfway through his words. Suddenly, a punch hit me in the stomach. You really dare. Back then, the dragon crossed the river, and one person monopolized 1,000 people. And you're just a waste looking for death. He took out his phone and took a picture of me. You're done. I sent your photo to my friends at Yuanda Group. They came over right away. Now you are really dead. Nono looked at me with a dead face. What are you tattooing? I squeezed out a smile and said to her, you go home first. Suddenly Nono cried. She cried loudly. You are a thief of scrap metal. What kind of Ksitigarbha king do you tattoo on your body? Do you know? Over the years, many people have pretended to be Jianglong and deceived. They were all destroyed by the people of the Yuanda Group. Quickly, I looked at Nono stupidly. Is he caring about me? Even if you dislike me as a cowardly father, he didn't want anything to happen to me. Saying that he cares about me, the guilt in my heart became stronger and stronger. The canteen owner grabbed me. Don't think about running. I just wanted to teach you a lesson. Who knows if you yourself are living impatiently. Suddenly, his phone rang. He picked up his phone and said loudly, elder brother. Ha 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 ha. This guy is so met. I was beaten. Are you coming over? And so on. What did you say? The entire board of directors of Yuanda is coming. His eyes suddenly widened, looked at me blankly. The audience exclaimed. The strong man asked in disbelief, you know, Samuel. The canteen owner said, that level of big man. How could I possibly know? But they just called and said they would be there soon. The strong man sighed for a while. Loyalty and righteousness. Just pretending to be their big brother. It would actually attract them all. The canteen owner said to me coldly, I think it's because of the majesty of the dragon across the river. I can't tolerate cats and dogs. You know how to write the word dead right away. Nono has collapsed sharply. She ignored the threat from the canteen owner just now. Run to my side. Pushed me hard. She cried, let's go. You've caused my mother to wait for you for 15 years. Do you still want her to be a widow? I looked at the collapsed Nono. There was a burst of guilt in my heart. It's all my fault. Let their mother and daughter suffer for 15 years. Hey, moo! Cried and said to the canteen owner, don't call someone here, okay? He's just a scrap iron thief. He didn't know about Jianglong at all. He was imprisoned 15 years ago for cutting the cable ignorantly. When he went to prison, he returned. I haven't heard the story of that big man. He didn't imitate on purpose. It's just a coincidence. The canteen owner was stunned. Then there was another quack. Whom? I laughed to death. He was imprisoned for stealing scrap metal. Is there anything more cowardly than this? Nono's face was full of humiliation, but she still held my hand. Pull me out. The boss immediately led someone to block our way. He sneered. Is it so easy to leave? Yuanda had already released his words. Who dares to tattoo King Ksitigarbha again? It is to openly oppose them. Nono cried. It's all said. He got a tattoo more than 10 years ago. The canteen owner said with a smile. Was he wronged? I don't care. If you die today, in the next life, remember not to steal other people's business. Saying that we were surrounded by a group, Nono was so anxious that he didn't know what to do. She looked at her sisters anxiously. Collapsed, said I. Aren't you guys helping? Group of people did not dare to speak. The redhead spoke. Do we have a good relationship with you? Niwo. Was stunned. She couldn't help but say, we have bowed to the handle. The red-haired girl shook her head and said, if you are really a good sister, don't get involved with friends at this time. If you cause such a big disaster, you will pull us into the water. Not worthy of being our sisters. As soon as she spoke, those little sisters have come to take care of it. That's right. You want us to die. You still have the face to say that we have worshipped the handle. I'm sure. Who really will accompany you to death? I can't afford to mess with Yuanda. No. Zaid anxiously. I didn't want you to go against the grand scheme. Just ask for help. Let's go. His friends were silent. I know, yes. At this moment, the world in my heart is estimated to have collapsed. I only feel distressed. 15 years in prison. I know that Nono must have been bullied over the years. She just didn't want to be bullied anymore. That's why I played with this group of gangsters, swearing a group. In a hurry. Nono wanted to break through the crowd. But what about her delicate body? It could be an opponent for these people. The canteen owner raised his hand impatiently. Slapped no fiercely. Girls, can't you be quieter? Slap hadn't slapped Nono's face yet. I caught it. The canteen owner was stunned. He said in disbelief, do you dare to fight back? I said I didn't fight anymore. He said arrogantly, then you let go. I shook my head. How did you hit me? I don't care. If you touch her, I want you to die. As soon as I heard this, the owner of the canteen suddenly couldn't hold back his laughter. A boxed lunch seller dared to threaten me. Yes. Don't let me hit this little girl right. I'll show you. Although he was grabbed by my hand, but he immediately kicked towards Nono. However, I was faster. At the moment when the canteen owner lifted his foot, I was already on his other leg. He suddenly lost his balance, fell to the ground hard. The canteen owner lost face. He got up and yelled at me angrily. I'll abolish you now. Interrupt your hands and feet. Then hand it over to Yuanda. The words just fell. The strong man rushed up with people. Nono was anxious. She took advantage of the chaos in the crowd now, crying to me. Run. I looked at the people who rushed towards me. Zaid reached out and gently touched Nono's head. Said gently, have you ever admired Yang Long? He was stunned for a moment. I said softly, and I'll call you. The strong man had already rushed in front of me. He raised his fist and slammed it into my face. I didn't dodge, just grabbed his wrist with one hand. Let him use as hard as he wants. The fist could not move forward in the slightest. The others saw that their eldest brother was suppressed. Hurriedly gathered around. I want to surround me. And I just lifted a strong man, smashed it out. This strong man was smashed on the body of the younger brothers, fell several times in a row. People screamed repeatedly. The canteen owner was in a hurry. Hurry up and roar. Hurry up. So many of you. Can't you beat a boxed lunch seller? Nono saw that the opportunity had come. He quickly grabbed my hand and was about to run. And I didn't move. No. Hurriedly said, wait for the people of Yuanda to arrive and it's over. If we go, they will come to trouble in the future. It's better to solve it all at once. No, anxiously. Don't talk big. Take care of yourself first. I whispered that I didn't pretend. He was stunned. Look at me suspiciously. I know I can't be fooled today. At this moment, there was a sudden noise in the sky. People looked up at the sky in confusion. 2 helicopters are heading this way. Helicopter is printed with the 4 big characters of Grand Group. The canteen owner was ecstatic. He pointed at me and said excitedly, aren't you very good at fighting? I'm telling you, you're done. Today is your last day on Earth. Crowd watching the excitement lined up on both sides. The end of the road. A Rolls-Royce Maybach Grand G drove over. Nono saw such a big battle. It has begun to tremble. She cried and said to me, "My mother raised me alone. I've been waiting for you for 15 years. She always told me not to hate you. Say that you are actually a reliable man, but where exactly are you for such a big disaster for yourself?" I sighed. "I'm sorry." I held Nono's little face. Watch her cry hysterically. My heart also hurts like tearing. The convoy stopped. Brothers got out of the car, and walked towards me one by one. The canteen owner hurriedly ran to them, and excitedly, "Bosses, that's it." He pointed at me and said with spit, "Just he pretended to be a river dragon." I heard that. I just want to teach him a lesson for Yuanda. Who knew that he didn't even pay attention to the grandeur? I still want to leave. The people present couldn't help but talk excitedly. It's really a grand group. Oh my God, this man is dead. You can't see this group of bigwigs at all on weekdays. Today, they all gathered. It's terrible. I really want to go up and recognize my godbrother. Don't look for death. Do you think this group of people is playing house for little hooligans, even before mixing with Nono? Those little sisters together. At this time, he also took it out excitedly. The mobile phone recorded it to us. The weakness of this loyalty makes people feel sad and ridiculous, different from Nono's fox friends. Brothers looked at me, and I sighed deeply. They are all my brothers. I was in prison for 15 years. They waited for me for 15 years. More than 400 days. Loyalty remains unchanged. Just to wait for me to come out and leave everything to me. I thought I wouldn't see them again. Who knew we would meet again? Still on such a special occasion. They came towards me. The canteen owner also told them, as if inviting credit. I just vented my anger on Yuanda. I really beat him desperately. Look at what he looks like, a wolf. That's what I did with him just now. Nono watched as the group approached me. He panicked. He said shiveringly, "Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. This is my dad. He was in jail many years ago." His tattoo also appeared many years ago. After he came back, I went to jail because I hated him, reluctant to approach him. So only now did I see his tattoos for the first time. If I had known, I will definitely warn him well. The more Nuo spoke, the more scared he became. But she still stood in front of me. She said, "Collapsed. My mother really waited for him for many years. He didn't mean to provoke Yuanda. He also had no idea of pretending to be Jiang Long. Please, let him go. I kneel down for you. See the situation. My heart aches, and I can't even breathe. I'd rather see him dislike me all the time." And at this time, the canteen owner mocked. "What do you think you are? How much is your love worth?" He just finished speaking. All the directors of Yuanda suddenly knelt down together. I don't dare to accept the gift of promise. In a flash, everyone was stunned. They replied respectfully in unison. The sudden change made Nuo dumbfounded. The canteen owner was also pale. He exclaimed, "You always don't admit your mistakes. He's just a boxed lunch seller." He just finished speaking. His men had already taken him to the ground, bored with red eyes. "Today is your last day on Earth." The canteen owner screamed anxiously. "Misunderstand. It's all a misunderstanding." I walked over to Nano and helped her up. Nono stand up. The directors were still kneeling. I didn't speak. None of them dared to move. Nono swallowed his sleeping foam. Said stupidly, "I am the daughter of the dragon who crossed the river. I'm sorry. I have hidden you for so long." She asked me with wide eyes. 15 years ago. You monopolize 1,000 people with one knife. Is the legend of blood staining half a river true? How can one person fight against 1,000 people? I say it's true. I'll tell you when this guy is solved. I glanced at the canteen owner. Brothers, you understand what I mean. Immediately drag him towards me. The canteen owner was already frightened. He screamed for help in horror. Like a dead dog, it is dragged on the ground. That strong man was also stupid. He was very vicious just now. Legs go weak with fright, trembling and wanting to escape the crowd. But he was too scared. Maybe he used to do a lot of evil. Maybe he has participated in many fierce battles. But some things are better than he was. Everything that has been experienced is terrible. For example, my name. The moment I learned my name, He was already frightened. When people are extremely frightened, weakness in the legs is uncontrollable. Originally he was still on the run, but those legs are getting softer and softer. Finally he knelt directly on the ground. He hit his legs frantically, begging to stand up, but it didn't work. In front of me, he no longer had the courage to stand up. The brothers had already caught him, dragged him towards me, and every one of his men. I glanced at the red-haired girl, casually, and those who were also brought over. The red-haired girl, who had been humiliating me before, was stunned. Her face became extremely frightened. Before she could react, the crowd was so frightened they retreated. Originally, they hid in the crowd. It can be under the name of the River Dragon. No one dares to get into trouble. This group of brothers and sisters who are fooling around with No-No, like a clown, stand there in a daze. They bowed their heads, shivering towards me. Wait in front of me, the red-haired girl said to me with some crying. Uncle, I didn't mean to laugh at you just now. I'm just kidding. We are good sisters. Help me, tell me. Gayunor said coldly. Who is a good sister to you? I beg you to help me once. You are sneering at me. Now she says she is my good sister. I've seen through each of you. A brother came to me. Asked me respectfully. Brother Long, what to do with these guys? I looked at the cafeteria owner. He was shaking with fright, crying. Brother Long did not answer. Chairman of Long Donglong. I really don't know who you are. If only I had known a long time ago. Even if you give me 100 guts, I don't dare to provoke you. I walked up to him, looked at him condescendingly. The guy's getting more and more afraid. The pants started to get wet. I sighed. I didn't grab business with you. Our box lunches are the same price. If students buy yours, just sit in the cafeteria and eat slowly. But if you want to buy me, not to mention that you can't shelter from the wind and rain. I don't even have a table or chair here. You don't just have to get out of school. You can only eat on the side of the road. Why did they choose me? The canteen owner swallowed his saliva, stammered, because I have a black heart. Because I'm not human. I was wrong. I really know it's wrong. You don't know you're wrong. You just know you've messed with someone you can't afford to mess without. You are verbally admitting your mistake just to get away with it. A brother came to the dilapidated stall and whispered, Brother Long can sell 300 boxed lunches a day. This is what you knocked over. You still paid for it. The canteen owner hurriedly said that I bought it in moi. I see Brother Long working hard. I bought it on purpose. I asked, do you want me to compensate you? The boss knelt on the ground in fright. I cheeped tremblingly. Of course not. I have eyes that do not recognize Mount High. You don't remember the villain's faults. I said, since you bought it and you eat it, he was stunned. No pointed to the food on the ground as high as a hillock. She dumbfoundedly. Eat. A brother roared. Brother Long doesn't deserve to eat it. I eat. I'll eat it right away. The canteen owner hurriedly climbed to the meal. He on the ground like a dog, eating the food on the ground. I asked how it tasted. He said flatteringly while eating. Delicious. It's much better than mine. Then you can finish eating. The boss said dumbfounded. How can I finish a 300 yuan meal? Brothers heard this, suddenly angry. I can't finish it. We've got you covered. The boss's head was slammed into the meal. He struggled to eat the food on the ground. I glanced at a few strong men. Said, casually, don't you help eat. Just a sentence. Brothers, you understand what I mean. Add them to the canteen owner as well. The head shook into the meal. A brother said coldly, eat it. It's good to be on the road when you're full. A simple sentence, but put. The cafeteria owners were all dumbfounded. Mr. Longchair, what road are we on? We have minds abroad. Many people died in that place because of war and malaria. If you are lucky, you will miss an arm and a leg. You can come back after 10 years. If you're unlucky, at least it will bring your ashes back. The canteen owner and the strong man listened, suddenly frightened and cried, Can you not go? You cannot go. But the distant will let you beg for it. The canteen owner was in a hurry. He knelt down and walked towards me on his knees, crying, Brother Long, I was really wrong. Please, don't let them send me abroad. I have heard of the group's mines abroad. Laborers over there were not half blown up by the bomb. It was cut off by local militants. It is agreed that they will use labor from the local country. How can you send me there? I'm also human. I just made a mistake once. There's no need for that. I heard that the principal is your cousin. You have been reported several times. In the end, everything was fine. And obviously they are the party defending their rights and interests. As a result, it was because of reporting you. His own children were expelled from school. Is there such a thing? He swallowed his saliva, whispered. That's their fault too. My own grades are not good. Did not pass the public examination. When I came to a private school, I dared to make a fuss. It seems to be in your eyes. The strong can bully the weak. Does that mean I can also bully you? Brother Long, I interrupted the canteen owner, reached out and patted him on the shoulder, sighed. Children are the time to grow their bodies. I know that doing business is about profit, but at least talk to the children about their conscience. You want me to be nice to you, but are you kind to the children? If it weren't for being forced to help, who wants to run out of school and sit on the side of the road to eat a boxed lunch? I was wrong. The canteen owner hasn't finished speaking yet. Us dragged down by the brothers. Just as they say, they go or not. But in the end, Yuanda will definitely let them take the initiative to beg for it. At this time, those of Nuo, the brothers and sisters, were already trembling with fear. The red-haired girl cried, "Uncle, we will never dare to laugh at you again." I reached out and touched her red hair. Softly, I didn't think about what to do to you. I just want to say, eat well. Don't worship these meaningless things. At school, fierce and ruthless. Recognize a bunch of godbrothers. You think you're amazing, but to society, these bad habits will ruin you. Couldn't help but tremble and cry. I say, next time I come to play with my daughter, remember to dye your hair back first. Okay, he nodded. This moment, he finally couldn't suppress the fear in his heart. Ruan knelt on the ground. I sighed. He cleaned up the stalls on the ground by himself and meant to keep a low profile. If it weren't for them pulling me all the time, I didn't plan to be in the limelight either. The brothers were anxious when they saw me doing it themselves. Hurry up and help me sort things out. I asked why everyone was so afraid of me. The whole thing is as big as the underworld. They were stunned. Finally, he wondered. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're too rich. I groaned. Organize the store. Then he waved to Nono, motioned for him to go back with me. Nono followed me, looked behind him from time to time. Because the brothers still follow us and refuse to leave, I handed him the only box lunch left, sighed and said, "It's a pity that the boxed lunch prepared for you at the beginning. I also put my heart on it very seriously." Nono took the lunchbox, wiped away tears, whispered, "I thought something was going to happen. You should have said earlier that you are a dragon crossing the river. I ask you, you are scared. Why is it still in front of me?" He cried, "No matter how much I hate you, 15 years away. You are also my dad. He is also the man my mother waits for day and night." I laughed. Help her wipe away her tears. Say it softly. "I have been ashamed of you for the past 15 years. I will never leave you again." Nonna was tired of walking. She wanted to sit on a stone pier on the side of the road. I quickly took out a tissue to help her wipe the stone pier clean. After she sat down, I helped her hand her chopsticks again. Do what a father can. Nono asked with chopsticks, "What happened to you monopolizing 1,000 people back then? That's not a glorious thing." I looked at Nono's eyes and recalled. 15 years ago, my brothers and I founded Yuanda Group. We do business in our duty, but it was not as peaceful as it is now. At that time, there were many underworld forces, use force to rob us of our business. Everyone hates them. I want to do it hard. I said that brothers have families. Fighting with the underworld will only ruin yourself. It's better to catch the thief and capture the king first. Nono swallowed his sleeping foam. I know, I've heard your stories. You have been bullied. In order to resist, he drew a life and death lot. And then you draw it. I sincerely said to Nonua, it was that life and death sign. I was worried that I would not be able to be reborn after death. He tattooed King Ksitigarbha on his body. I only ask my Buddha to have mercy. Let me still be a human being in my next life. I told Nono everything 15 years ago. I tied layer after layer of iron sheet to my body because it is not convenient to move flexibly. I chose to bury myself under the battlefield of my enemies. When he appears, he stood above me. I directly pierced his lower part with a knife. Then I had to, facing everyone on the battlefield single-handedly. I can't remember how many times I was stabbed. I'm glad I tied so many layers of iron sheets to my body. They were puzzled at first. Later, I cut my clothes. See me put layers of iron sheets, keyed, like medieval armor. They were mad. He wants to drive a battlefield car to throw me. The police arrived in time. I survived. People call me the dragon crossing the river, but I also paid the price for it. Was sentenced to 20 years in prison. After going to prison, I thought my life was over, until I found out that I was about to have a child. In order to be a good father, I actively transform. Released from prison 5 years early, just so as not to miss the day you grow up. Nono swallowed his sleeping foam. Why has my mother never told me all these years? It's the underworld forces. Do we dare to say? We We are worried that the enemy will come to the door. I didn't even dare to let my brothers fund your mother all these years. I don't dare to let anyone know your identity. Then you're all back. Why don't you tell me? I pointed to the group of brothers behind me. You know why 15 years? Do you still praise me as chairman? Yuanda shook his head. A brother said sadly. Brother Long had no heirs at that time. Each of us has an old and a young. Until he went to jail. We found out that he was involved in life and death. He has been fighting since the beginning. It was decided to give everything for us. I smiled bitterly at Nono. I didn't know you existed at that time. I even stupidly wrote a letter. Let him find a man again. Only I knew she was pregnant with you. I will never be strong. I chose to abandon your mother that year. It is precisely because of this that it happened. I just feel like I have no face to tell you. Don't follow me. Those who don't know think I'm some kind of underworld. The brothers became a little nervous, looked at Nono helpfully. The eldest lady brother long refused to return to Yuanda. It is also because he values love and righteousness. He said that the friendship of a gentleman is as light as water. Don't want our monetary return. 15 years ago we were weak. Let the underworld be bullied and only be protected by him. 15 years later, the shoe is on the other foot. It's also our turn to repay this kindness. You persuade Brother Long. Let him go back to the future. I frowned and said, you all go. I didn't do it to repay you. Later, I will buy a boxed lunch at my stall, even if it supports my brotherhood. People are in a dilemma. Suddenly. I want to be a rich second generation. I was stunned. I said I learned a lesson in prison. You should be down to earth. Create wealth with your own hard-working hands. How did you resist with your hands 15 years ago? Instead, use your feet. This is a sneak change concept. Nono was anxious. I want to be a rich second generation. You were imprisoned for 15 years. My mother and I suffered for 15 years. Now others have taken the initiative to repay it. Isn't it good for you to make me a rich second generation? Isn't it bad for you to let your mother be a rich wife? I said it was about the dignity of men. Help the brothers stand up. How can you ask for money in return? He wiped away his tears, said with a little hatred, I don't care what your identity is. If you refuse to go down, I will hate you forever. Today, for the sake of face, my mother and I have worked hard for the rest of our lives. I hesitated for a moment, finally turned to them and said, if you really want to repay me, can you buy that school cafeteria for me? Brothers heard this, hurriedly came up. Brother Long's school cafeteria is definitely not enough. Or so. Yuanda Group has 20 employees, 25 canteens, all contracted all to you. We sign contracts. You take it first to operate. Next year the group will pay rent. How can that work? Isn't that the same as getting it for free? Brother Long. They are all brothers. What do you care about? I would love to say no, but for Nono, I can only let go of the dignity of a man. Accepted the contracting rights of a total of 26 canteens. I don't really like that. I feel like being a brother is in my heart. It is not right to ask for a monetary return. A month later, I bought 2 Porsches. One is for my wife to drive. One is encrusted with diamonds and given to Nono as an ornament. See how happy they are. I guess forget it. Taking care of your small family is more important than anything else. Men's face or something. If you lose it, lose it. No longer became flowing. It's a very serious study. Grace began to rise steadily. He said he wanted to be admitted to catering management. Help me take care of the family business in the future. Saying that my daughter is learning well. I was very moved. Since then, there has been no river dragon in the world. There is only one canteen owner who loves his wife and daughter.